Thank you guys for having this document open on your desk and actually just having this tab only. So I know you can be clicking around and on your email and so forth, but I'm asking that you are just looking at this document and then making corrections as you need to, or additions perhaps. So I'm going to go as fast as I can, but also as productive as I can, so you can make changes if you want to. By the way, I type very slow. So any trouble you might have had with Miss Richards and keeping up because she's an awesome typist, you will not have that challenge with me. Okay, that was one class I was not good at. So, anyways, maybe others too, but that one in particular burns in my memory. So, for the first question, it says, how many centuries ago did Hammurabi live? How long did he rule? First of all, you notice this is a two-part question. Boys and girls, when you have a two-part question, you have to answer both parts. I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but that is something you have to do. I'm going to turn my text into red, and then I'm going to delete those lines, which I probably never should have put those lines, right? I thought that would be helpful, and clearly not helpful. And we can see that now my text is not red anymore. Look at, see how long it's taking me? Just like I said. Okay, so the answer to that is Hammurabi lived 38 centuries ago and ruled for 42 years. So lived 38 centuries ago and ruled, for 42 years. And what I made notice of in the reading was simply that even in his later years, like his 38th year, remember, he was making changes and improvements to his land, to his area that he ruled, which is pretty cool. So that is the answer there. Now, I am not making these complete sentences. I am not using part of my question in the answer. I am simply giving you the answer straight out. So maybe you did a little bit nicer job. Maybe you added to yours a little bit better than I just did there. But right now, all we're interested in for this video is just getting the answers out. Okay, I'm going to change my font color again so you can see the answers clearly. From Larsa to Mari, what was the approximate length of Babylonia from north to south? Okay, for this one, boys and girls, you had to use the little chart right here. You had to take a little piece of paper, figure out how much it was from 0 to 200, and then measure along this distance. And if you did that, you should have been getting about about 350 miles. Okay, now if you don't have that exactly, that was more of a practice of using a scale on the map. And if you don't have that exactly, that's okay. But go ahead and fix it up. That would be the correct answer. Then, number 3, what was the estimated population of Babylonia? That was 1 million. That's pretty incredible. Boys and girls, I'm just going to remind you, not that long ago, humans were still walking around in groups of 20 to 25 and hunting and gathering. So we're making this pretty aggressive change pretty quickly. 1 million. Okay. Number 4. Into what 3 social classes was the population divided? So that was listed pretty clearly in that second column, I believe. And that would be land owning free men. I guess I put that together. Non land owning free men. And actually, in this case, they don't even say men so much as they say people and slaves. Okay. They don't like how I've done that. Whatever. That's just, you can put a dash there, you can have a space there. That's not important to me. Okay, so you have these different groups in listed for the laws. The land-owning freemen, the non-land-owning people, and then slaves. Okay, number 5. In general terms, what is Hammurabi's code? Well, you might have done this in several different ways. I mean, there could have been lots of different ways to describe this. So don't get caught up on the exact wording, but just for the sake of having it described in a different way, perhaps, I'm going to go ahead and just say that the code is a list of 282 laws issued by Hammurabi for the people of Babylonia. That's one summary. That might work for you. Maybe you had something different. I bet you had something a little more detailed, and that's great too. Okay, now these terms may come in handy so you can understand things better as we move through the documents that are coming up in the next few days. So I want you to be familiar with these terms so that when you see them moving forward, you'll know what we're talking about. And we've kind of talked about some of these before, of course, already, but just so you have them available. So a city-state is an independent city, sometimes walled, and often including the territory around it. Okay, so it's an area that people live and oftentimes was walled to keep people out. Outside of the walls would have been the farmland, which you know from drawing your cities last week. Okay, moving on to Babylonia. Babylonia is the kingdom ruled by Hammurabi. It included a number of city-states and was located in Mesopotamia along the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. And you know that. We see it in the song or heard it in the song, and we've seen the maps. So you're pretty familiar with this at this point. Just zeroing in on that. Okay, moving on to Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is more of a region. We've talked about that over the last few weeks. That Mesopotamia is a region in the Middle East that included, that is not how you spell included, modern day Iraq and sections of modern day Turkey, Iran, and Syria. In Greek, it means the land between the rivers. Okay. Oh, geez, another typo. See what I mean? You guys have plenty of time. You could be typing this 5 times over by the time I get done with it once. Add anything into there that you didn't have. Maybe you forgot about the land between the rivers. Maybe you want to include these modern day areas. Cuneiform, a kind of writing used in Sumer and Babylonia letters were carved into stone or soft clay with a stylus I think you guys know what a stylus is. It kind of looks like a chopstick. I was going to give that example, but I think you guys have got that. It's got an angle on one side so they can make the wedges just perfectly. And then finally a stele is an upright, oh boy. Don't worry, I got it. Just calm down. It's all good. Oh, here we go. Okay. An upright? Oh, maybe not. There you go. Boys and girls, thanks for hanging with me for a minute here. Oh, I have to put none, right? Yeah, none. Okay. Now will it work? Yep. Thanks. Sticking with me. And upright stone slab or pillar, usually having an inscription. There we go. Okay, so now we have that down, and you guys can get all your answers perfect and use those as you need to moving forward. And what I'd like to do next, boys and girls, is introduce you to the next two documents you're going to be looking at. And I'm not going to take much time personally. I'm going to count on you to go through and read them either alone, with your whole group, your whole class, or with your partner. But I do expect you to read each one and analyze them and then answer the questions that go with those. So in Google Classroom, you have these two documents I'm going to show you, and you have the question sheet. So go ahead and don't open anything yet. Just be listeners for a moment, and then we will move on from there.